Okay, so for this video, we're going to take a look at some of the postures from Lau Gar and how to work them on just one of these basic dummies. If you have a wooden dummy or if you have any other training aids, then you can also do them on that. The idea is that you just got to keep yourself practicing. It's very good for coordinating and striking in. This is by no means any kind of development towards the actual fighting or using the applications. But if you've got a better coordination of your body and controlling of your punches and your other strikes, you should find it a lot easier to transition across when you work with a partner. We set the pad at solar plex height and another one at head height. These are just going to be rough targets that you're going to aim to. Okay, so for the first one, we're going to take this left punch coming in. We're just going to pick it up with the right hand as it comes across. The left hand is going to come up to cover behind, and then we're going to just turn the body and then drop forward and strike down into the pad. If you're already fairly close, you won't have to step in, you can just turn and hit. So for the first one, 1, 2, step forward and then low strike. The main part about this outside check is just making sure that you cover that bridge as you step in, because obviously this is going to guard you in case the punch comes back in as a hammer fist or anything from the outside. If we take this from a bit more of a free flow perspective, from here, if that punch is coming in, we can use the same thing. So we just check and move the body to the closed side, and that's just going to provide us cover for when we strike back. Again, as I said, you don't technically have to step. You can just move your body and shuffle until you get the right positioning. So from here, if we're facing up, it's 1, 2, 3, and then drop that punch in. So from here. Okay, so for the second technique, what we're going to look at is just a single arm pickup. In the form, we're going to feed the low punch, we cut back with the same hand, and then re-attack with this chop. This is going to be if you've already struck and your opponent's coming in and throwing extra shots in. Obviously, one punch might not finish the fight, so you're going to need to work with this. Okay, so first of all, it's good to work the distancing and the practice with the actual movements from the form in a traditional manner, and that way you get a good idea of positioning and technique. So we're going to start off with this low punch. We're then going to cut back with the hand and then feed that chop straight into the head. We're not moving the stance here, we're already in fighting range. So low punch, cut back, and then feed the chop in. Obviously, when we're going to be adapting this for tools that we can use in a self-defense aspect, this chop might not be the best thing to use. So we can use a palm strike, we can use a punch when we re-attack, any kind of weapons that you really want to use. Okay, so from here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. For the third technique, we're going to use a combination of punches that change range. So in the form, we're going to turn the body, we're going to punch, we're going to pull, punch and kick at the same time. So we go 1 and then drop forwards and then leopard punch over the top. This is more of a coordinational practice than an actual fighting application. The first movement, we're going to cut across, try to catch the bridge, and you can attach to it by turning that hand over to grip, and then you're going to pull and punch straight to the head. Now, as we add this next movement, you'll see that we're slightly out of range because we're too close to kick unless we go low. And then obviously you have this extra punch to put in over the top as well. So the second part is addressing the other side. So if we pick up a punch from the other side, from this punch here, we're going to pull back. And again, we do the same thing. We try to attach to the bridge. If we can get a good grip on it, we can use it to add more power to the next shot. But as we pull this bridge, we can strike in towards the head, but the kick has to be a lot lower because obviously the length of the leg. So as we attach, we're going to pull and kick, just checking down towards the feet. And then as we punch, okay, so for the third component to this, now all we're going to do is fold down with this leopard fist and then strike in over the top. This is relatively simple. And again, you want to be using this separate to the other techniques because this is going to put you in a completely different range. The leopard claw is going to fold over and we're going to just step in and close the range a little bit more, and then we can execute that strike to the face from a much closer position. Now again, when you're working with these pads, you want to go slightly light on the strikes because this is relatively hard and also not very even. So as you strike in, you can just pop the knuckles forwards like this and then strike in over the top. Obviously, this is something that we want to condition on the iron palm bag as well, just to make sure that that fist is nice and strong. But again, you can use any kind of technique with this. You can use a punch, you can use a palm, or even if you're close enough, you can use an elbow. You're going to fold in and punch. You can fold in and palm, or even if you're close enough, you can fold in an elbow over the top. For our next technique, we're going to work with this arm break and then move into the tiger claw. So from the form, we step around and we catch the arm. So this is, again, like I said, this is going to be an arm break. Then we fold down in front and we step through to close the range and claw straight over the top. So the arm break's more of a positional thing. You need to be down on the wrist with the right hand, and you need to be striking in just above the elbow. So on triple heater 11, which sits just on the tricep tendon, so from here you're going to catch the punch with the right, and then the left, taking your body offline, you're going to get that break. Now from here, you're going to turn the hand over, fold it down, and then claw straight to the face. For the next technique, we're going to look at this low strike and then just rolling up and striking towards the head. So from the form, we're going to step in and we're going to use this gum sail movement and just jam that movement from lower. We're going to check down and roll the strike up towards the head. We want to keep the initial movement the same. So from this punch coming in, we want to check across with the left hand and then just step in and strike down to the lower pad. Now, as we move high, we want to remove this bridge so there's nothing obstructing us. So as we strike down, we roll the back fist up and we strike towards the head. For this next application, we're going to take a look at this low outward block whilst we simultaneously punch high towards the head. This can come from either a low punch or even a low kick. So I'm going to strike to the inside or the outside of the knee as the top hand just attacks up towards the face. So we're going to set the arm of the dummy slightly lower. It's going to be aiming towards our torso here. We just check and clear that low bridge. At the same time, you're going to turn your body and then strike up towards the head. Now, the same body movement is going to support both the block and the punch. So as we turn the body, we want to be turning to the right, checking low with the right arm, and then punching high with the left hand. For our next application, we're going to do another leopard movement, and it's going to be this folding over again. So as we turn, we're going to circle the right hand over and step across. The left hand clears over the top of the head, and then we open out and strike with that leopard fist. Now, the difference with this one is that when we're working with this punch, the first movement is going to fold over just like we did before. So from here, as you fold it in, those hands are going to clear or crush the arms inwards, and then we get to open up that striking line that's high. As the hands come in, we fold over. Both hands come over and crush the arms inwards, and then the hand just chops outwards straight into the side of the head. So from here, we come in, 1, 2. We're going to use the leopard fist again, and the reason being is that if we can't strike into the head, we can always access the throat, but it means that the weapon is smaller and can slip underneath the chin and strike to stomach 9, which is on the side of the neck. So as the hands come in, we're going to crush that bridge or even deflect the bridge over to the side and down as we move our body to the side. And then as we press down on it, we're going to strike over with that leopard fist. So for the next sequence of movements, these are all individual tools, but it kind of helps for you to understand moving in and out of range and where your strikes sit. So as we pick up the arm, we're going to step in and we're going to strike with the elbow. So as you strike in towards the head, you want to be nice and close. Now, as another attack comes in, the first one might not be successful, so you're going to lean back out of the way as they strike towards you, but you can still strike backwards. Now, it's not particularly a very good strike, but what it does is it teaches you to generate power as you're moving away from the target. So the counterbalance, as you drop the weight backwards, you're going to swing the heel of the palm up and strike in towards the solar plex. Now, as you come back in, you're going to check the arm and then roll up and strike towards the face. Now, to give you an extra element to help with your trapping development, you're going to just bring the hand back under, clear the hand out of the way, and then finish with a punch. Okay, so it's going to be quite a complex sequence, but it really does help for you to learn your coordination and move around throughout these different ranges. So we're going to start slightly out of range, step in and strike with the elbow, lean back and strike, now check and strike back to the head, bring the hand under, switch and punch towards the face. If you have any questions about any of the techniques or how to set up a dummy like this at home, please drop them in the comments below it and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.